Welcome to Eden's Gate Descent, the second new normal difficulty raid introduced in Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. In this encounter, players will square off against Voidwalker. Doom Void Guillotine is a column AoE running the length of the arena. After its cast, it will summon 7 Nyx adds that will crawl forward in opposite directions. Standing in their path will deal damage to and give players infirmity stacks, reducing the potency of healing magic cast on them. Doom Void Slicer is a large donut AoE with a safe zone in the boss's hitbox. If tanked near the edge of the arena, there will also be a safe zone near the opposite end of the arena. At the end of this cast, 4 Nyx will spawn around Voidwalker and begin moving towards the boss. Shadow Flame is a hard-hitting tank buster that targets both the main and the off-tank. If one of the tanks is dead, this will target another one of the party members, likely killing them in one hit. Darkfire 3 will target 4 players with large circle AoEs, spread out to avoid overlap. Unholy Darkness is a standard split damage stack marker. Group up to share damage. Voidwalker will then cast Spell in Waiting, and the fight will begin in earnest. The next cast of Darkfire 3 will also mark the targets with these clock icons. When targeted with an ability that has a clock icon, the ability will not strike at the end of its cast. Instead, players will be given the Spell in Waiting debuff. This debuff marker will begin counting down above players' heads, and at the end of the countdown, the spell will resolve. Voidwalker will next cast an Unholy Darkness stack marker with the Spell in Waiting modifier. Stay stacked until this resolves. This is followed by another Darkfire 3 and Unholy Darkness combined. Players marked for Darkfire 3 will want to spread, while the rest of the party stacks. Both of these mechanics will resolve at roughly the same time. Entropy is a high damage raid-wide AoE. When the Hand of Erebos manifests, the entire party will be knocked across the arena, away from the hand. Stand on the side nearest the hand, as the knockback distance is most of the arena. This knockback will resolve at the end of the hand's empty hate cast and deals very light damage. The next Entropy cast will summon 5 geysers. One player should stand on each of these. This will cause them to bleed, but will prevent the party from gaining diabolic curse stacks and taking high damage when they resolve. A player will be targeted with a Spell in Waiting Unholy Darkness, and other players will subsequently be targeted by a Spell in Waiting Darkfire 3. The Unholy Darkness will resolve first, so players need to be sure to stay stacked until the split damage goes out before spreading for Darkfire 3. Shadow Eye will mark a player with the familiar gaze icon. Look away from them at the end of this cast to avoid being petrified and gaining a vulnerability upstack. This will be immediately followed by a Spell in Waiting Shadow Eye. Be sure to look away from the affected player before the end of the countdown. From here you've seen all of Voidwalker's mechanics, and it's simply a matter of dealing with them in the various ways they're layered together. Pay attention to the countdowns and work together to secure the clear.